And it's time once again for another grand episode of Velvet Owl Watches Movies So You Don't Have to. The only podcast out there where me, Velvet Owl, watches movies so that you, the listener, don't have to. But as usual, you can watch the movie if you want to. I'm not your parent. I can't control what you do. If you want to watch the movie after listening to this podcast, go ahead. I will have failed at my mission because I'm trying to discourage you from watching these movies. Actually, that's not true. Like, some of these movies are actually entertaining. I just choose what I think is going to be bad, but, you make your own judgment. This week's film is The Perfect Score, which I don't know what the hell it's about. The reason I chose this is because I saw a picture on the internet of Scarlett Johansson in this film, and it's an upskirt shot. And really, there's worse reasons to see a movie than a Scarlett Johansson upskirt. Um, this movie seems to have actual famous people, perhaps before they became famous, because this is from 2004. But in addition to Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans is in it. So we've got Black Widow and Captain America. So I hope this ties into the MCU. There's Erica Christensen, who, I don't know. The name sounds familiar. I don't know what she did. Matthew Lillard, the douchey guy from Scream. Oh, that doesn't narrow it down. They're all douchey. But he played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies as well. And Vanessa Angel is in this. She was from the TV series version of Weird Science, playing the Kelly LeBrock character. And she was hot. And when I was young, I wanted to get a computer just so that I could create my own woman. Whether it was Kelly LeBrock or Vanessa Angel, I didn't care. I just wanted to create a hot British woman. And really, computers have come along so far since the movie, especially since the movie, but even since the TV show that was only like 10 years after the movie, anyhow. But computers and their magic and their power have come along so far. Why can't I make a hot British woman just appear in my bedroom by turning on a computer? Maybe I can. I will have to go rewatch and see all the stuff that they did and follow all those steps, and I'm pretty sure I can get a hot British woman to appear in my bedroom. Oh boy, this movie is from MTV Films. There's a strike against it already. Oh boy. So we start in a classroom where the SAT is being taken. Oh god, I'm glad I'm like far, far, far removed from the SAT. I took it twice because the first time I fell just short of 1300, which was what I would need to qualify for this one scholarship. So I had to take it twice to get myself up to 1300. And I mean, 1300 must be good if it qualified for a scholarship, right? Yeah, it's not 1600, but fuck you perfect kids with your perfect 1600. So we've got a narrator who calls the SAT the suck ass test. So you can see where this humor is going, right? Oh, MTV Films. I I probably would have laughed when I was 13. And that probably was the target audience for this film. And Chris Evans, he's taking the SAT, and the narrator tells us that, he's just very something or other and wants to do good, but he's just, I don't know. I think he's probably a 1300. He's, I can feel it. We have a bond. He's not going to get the 1600, and it's going to stop him from getting to the college of his choice. And then next to him is I think it's Erica Christensen because I'm pretty sure Erica Christensen was a generic hot blonde, and this girl Anna is a generic hot blonde. So I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Uh, but the narrator is telling us like she's got like a 4.0 grade average, and she's going to become a PhD with a nice ASS. Like I said, this is the kind of humor I'm in for. Oh boy. But it looks like she completely blanked and answered no questions whatsoever. Um, she's good for her. Good for her. Why is it good for her? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something to say. But yeah, and the narrator is telling us about how, like the SATs don't really like represent everything about you and how smart you are. Because like her, you could just completely blank out. Which I agree. Except, SAT, at least as far as math goes, uh, the standardized testing kind of, well, I guess no, because with the SAT, you don't get the partial credit for showing your work. In case, like, you did everything right, you just miscalculated something, but you know what you're doing, you're just bad with numbers. And SAT doesn't measure that, so yeah, it's a suck ass test, bro. So now Chris Evans is in the guidance counselor's office because he only scored a 1020 on the SAT. Wow, that's bad, Chris Evans. That's what, average? Um, but I can hold my head in pride knowing that I scored better than Chris Evans on the SAT. Even though this is a fictional movie, give me my moment. But, 1020 isn't bad per se, but he wants to get into Cornell and he needs at least a 1430. And it's because ever since he was 7, playing with popsicle sticks, he's known he wants to be an architect. And the guidance counselor tells him, like, you could go to community college and become an architect, which is true. I mean, sure, Cornell will give you, like, a better resume. Like, hey, I graduated from Cornell. But I think if you really work on it, because you're an architect and been doing this since you were like 7 playing with popsicle sticks, you will show promise. And when you go to get a job, you show them some examples of your architecture, I think. I don't know. I don't know how the architect field works. I don't know if when you apply for jobs, you got to give samples of your work, or you just go, I went to Cornell. And they're like, you're hired. So, you know, Chris Evans doesn't know what he's going to do because, you know, also Cornell's the only college he applied to. Oops. This is why you have fallback schools, kid. Because in case you don't get into your first choice, I don't know. I don't remember if I applied for a second college. I think I did, but I was also pretty confident that I was going to get into my first college, and I did, because 1300, baby. 1300. And I guess that's the key. Apply to schools that you can hit their SAT requirement. And I don't even know if my school had an SAT requirement. I will not tell you what college I went to because fuck that noise. They don't deserve the recognition of being mentioned on Velvet Al Watches Movies so you don't have to. Now, Chris Evans' friend, Maddie, he's all like, yeah, I'm sure I got into my college, University of Maryland, because, they've got no standards. And he wants to go there because that's where his girlfriend goes. He's dating an older woman. And then we get a little sort of flashback to Chris Evans trying to tell his parents that, yeah, I did not get that 1430. His parents jumped the gun a little bit, and they made him a cake, and for the candles, they had 1430, because they knew he was going to get 1430. Was he aiming specifically for 1430? It was just the minimum. Like, what if he got like 1520 and he comes home and like, you underscored me. You didn't have faith that I could hit more than 1430. And Matthew Lillard's his older brother and is the dumb brother because he then takes the zero. He's like, 143. Oh, that was my score. And then he just scoops a huge handful of frosting and eats it. So I think I'm gonna like Matthew Lillard in this movie. I think he's my soulmate. So, Chris Evans just doesn't know what he's gonna do, and Maddie, he's all excited, and he opens up his letter from University of Maryland, and oops, apparently his score was too low. He's not getting in, and he figures, well, might as well break up with my girlfriend if I can't be with her in college. Dude, she's already in college while you were in high school. So I think, if you went to community college, you still could date. You don't have to be, I don't know, because I don't know where this is taking place. So maybe University of Maryland is like, far away. And the long distance relationship was working out for this year, but can you continue it? Who knows? And then apparently they work in a warehouse or something, moving boxes, and they're talking. And Chris Evans gives us a little lesson about how the SAT used to stand for Scholastic Aptitude Test, but now it just stands for SAT. Which I don't know if that's true or not, and if it is, that is fucked up. Not so much fucked up as just stupid. Like, are people like a Scholastic Aptitude Test? We don't want that to be associated with what this is. So, it's kind of like KFC pretending they're not Kentucky Fried Chicken. We know what you are. You are fried, you're kind of chicken, and, well, Kentucky's just a good name. So Chris Evans and his friend Maddie go to the building where the SATs are held or whatever, like the company that's responsible for it. But the security guard, who would rather read Victoria's Secret catalog than talk to these douchebags, and can you blame him? Do you really read the Victoria's Secret catalog? Yes, you do. Sure, it doesn't have articles like Playboy, but it's got descriptions of the clothes. By the way, I don't know if you've ever looked through a Victoria's Secret catalog, which I will neither confirm nor deny that I used to subscribe to it. They sell more than just underwear. I mean, sure, that's like the main thing, but they also do have clothes. And, you notice there's some models that only model the clothes. They guess don't feel comfortable enough to model the underwear as well. Oh, Victor. Someone should make a movie adaptation of the Victoria's Secret catalog. Why not? They make adaptations of anything. Didn't they make a adaptation of the What to Expect When You're Expecting books? So yeah, I think they can make a movie adaptation of the Victoria's Secret catalog. I'm gonna get to work on the screenplay now. Who do I call to get the rights? But so, the security guard tells him you can't go see whoever's in charge because I'm too busy reading the Victoria's Secret catalog. Plus, pretty much every high school student is going to want to get in because, they want their SAT scores fixed or whatever. And then Scarlett Johansson walks by. Oh, she is So yeah. Yeah, I don't have to finish that sentence, but I will finish it for you. She's so hot. And they're like, well, why is she getting to go up? And the security guard's like, her father owns the building. Foreshadowing. I think they're gonna, get into the building through Scarlett Johansson. And so, but dejected, they're back home, and Maddie calls his girlfriend, but a guy answers the phone. And, missed opportunity by this film to work in Just a Friend. You say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Oh, girl, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. And luckily, my singing is so horrible that it sounds nothing like the actual song, so YouTube does not hit me with copyright strikes for covering. No, seriously, like, I once put up a video of my friend's band and doing a concert, and they cover Big Balls, and it popped up like copyright strike of like using more copyright warning, because they let me upload the video, but just warning that if I ever made any money off this video, I got to pay it to AC/DC for the rights of Big Balls. However, I've uploaded videos of me covering songs, and I never get hit with any copyright thing because YouTube just doesn't recognize that I'm singing a song. Like, yeah, we have no idea what the fuck you're trying to sing. So Maddie's like, fuck, I have no future, and now my girlfriend's gone because I fucked up on the SAT. And okay, I mean, I get the sense that, yeah, you do feel like you're fucked if you don't pass the SAT very well. And I mean, I guess this was back in the height of you being forced to go to college if you wanted any sort of future. Whereas, as opposed to nowadays, where even if you go to college, you have no fucking future. So no one cares anymore. So Maddie thinks, if we break into the building and we get all the SAT answers, we'll be set. And Chris Evans, because, he's going to one day become Captain America. He's got morals. He does not want to do this. Until he goes home and his mom, who's a teacher, is grading some tests for kindergartners. And it's standardized testing. And she tells him that, they have to do it because then they get more money from the state and the government. And Chris Evans realizes that's what this is all about. This is what standardized testing is about. It's about getting more money for the schools and for the teachers. And, the narrator is making it sound like this is a recent thing of standardized testing, which again, this film was like the early 2000s, and it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be set in like the 1970s, which, I don't know, isn't that around the time standardized testing became like a thing? I was a kid in the 80s, and standardized testing was the big thing with like, you got to use a number 2 pencil and fill in the bubble completely, or else the computer will not read your score. Standardized testing is a big thing. And then the school's getting money. Like, fuck off, first off, with this film, though, because they're showing of the school getting money, saying the teachers get money too, and this one teacher is driving like a fucking Lamborghini because of the SAT score. No, fuck you for acting like any teacher's rich enough to get a Lamborghini. First of all, I'm all for schools fudging their standardized testing scores to get more money because our schools are fucking underfunded. if we're talking about public schools. If it's private schools, well, fuck them. They should not be getting any money because the parents are paying money to the schools already. But public schools that are severely underfunded, I say fucking fake all the tests you can to get all the money you can. And so this has led Chris Evans to think, you know what? Let's go steal the SAT answers and get fucking awesome scores. So Chris Evans and Maddie are trying to figure out, so what's going to be our plan to steal the SAT answers? And Maddie's like, I recognized that girl that was at the building, Scarlett Johansson. I recognize her for more than just being Scarlett Johansson. She's the girl at school that has her own web page. Well, I mean, shouldn't, this is like the 2000s. Every kid at school should have, their own Angel Fire webpage. But I think she has, a webpage, not just Angel Fire, where she does all the school gossip and stuff. And, Scarlett Johansson. She's got, this punk schoolgirl look going on. And, excuse me a minute. Yeah, right, I'm... Where was I going with this? But yeah, because she's got that pleated schoolgirl skirt along with, I think it's supposed to be a punk shirt. I don't know. I don't recognize the band, if it is a band. And, oh my. And she's sitting in the library. And of course, there it is. The upskirt shot. Oh, and her panties have little cherries on it. It's just... Okay, now excuse me for a moment. Yeah. What else is going on in this movie? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just gonna rewatch this over and over and over. Wait, why do I have to rewatch it? I have the internet. I will just go download the picture again. So Chris Evans and Maddie are talking to her and tell her their plan, we want to steal the SAT answers. And she's like, it's a good idea because the SATs are very anti-women because it's, biased against them because women aren't as good at math. I think that's what she's saying. I mean, I don't know. I have heard that the SATs do skew towards helping white males. So I guess she has a point. I'm going to go with it. I don't care. I will accept any point that punk schoolgirl Scarlett Johansson is telling me. Yes, I believe you. I want to subscribe to your newsletter. But she doesn't fully want to go with them because, A, they don't have a plan. And B, they don't have a plan. But if they can figure out a plan, she'll help them. And then, meanwhile, we've got Desmond, the star basketball player, and he figures his basketball skills will get him into college, and then from there, it's a career in the NBA. And the college recruiter from St. John's is telling him, well, we want you to come to our college because, you're good, but you're not that good. So we don't fully know if you can make it to the NBA. We'll help you as best as we can, but you also need a good education. Which, kids, make sure you do get a good education at school in case you can't make it to the NBA. Like me, I was unable to make it to the NBA or to the college basketball team or the high school basketball team. Hell, I never even got picked when the kids on the street were playing basketball. So, yeah, the NBA was always out of my league. But luckily, I did not really get a good education either because drugs got in the way. Uh-oh. I should not reveal too much about my college education on this podcast, because the two people listening to it, I could get into trouble if they. I don't know if I could get into trouble. So let me go back to thinking about Scarlett Johansson's panties. So Desmond, the college recruiter is telling him, like, we want you to come here, but you haven't taken your SATs yet, so you should take your SATs, because you need to get at least 900 to get into St. John's. What? That's all? That 900? Okay. St. John's does not have high standards. Or maybe just because he's going to get like a basketball scholarship as well, then they're like, 900's good enough because you're a b-ball player. So, boy, Chris Evans should apply to St. John's. I'm sure they've got a good architect program as well. And your 1020 clears that 900 benchmark. And your friend Maddie, he should just apply to St. John's as well. I don't know what his test score was, but I don't know. His test score probably is still too bad for St. John's. So the next day at school, Chris Evans and Maddie are in the bathroom, and Chris Evans like, Maddie, please don't get mad, but I told Erica Christensen about, yeah, I'm convinced it's Erica Christensen, about our plan to steal the SAT scores, or the SAT answers, because I just felt that, she might also want some help. Because, remember, she, just blanked out on her SAT, so she's not doing very well either. But she wasn't going for the plan because she's got morals, and, gives the example of, if you're driving late at night and you come across a red light and there's no one around, do you run the light? And the correct answer is no. Because a victimless crime is still a crime. But, it's not that these aren't victimless crime. There are victims in this crime of stealing the SAT answers. The thing is that the victims are people that deserve to be victims. Big money of standardized testing. But she says no, and, Maddie's mad because, okay, someone knows about our plan, and she's not even wanting to do it. She's probably going to fucking rat us out. And why, Chris Evans? Why did you do this? Just because you want to bang her? And even though the answer is yes, Chris Evans, he's like, no, I just want to help. And Maddie gets so mad, he kicks one of the stall doors, and oops, there is someone there who's just heard you talking about your plan to steal SAT answers. And he's a complete stoner, as you can tell by the fact that they start playing, 'Cause I got high, 'cause I got high, 'cause I got high, do 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 do. Actually, I don't think that do part is in the song, but that is a good song. Because I got high, because I got high, because I got high. And the stoner kid apparently is the narrator who's been talking to us this whole point. And really, he's a stoner. Who's going to believe him on anything he says about your plan to steal the SAT answers? But why not? Let him in on the plan. Or do you? Because he's a stoner. He's going to fuck things up. Meanwhile, Erica Christensen goes home, and her parents are like, blah, 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 and I don't know, and she's talking to a college recruiter, and, there's all this pressure that, like, okay, you're going to take the SAT again, and this time you are going to kick ass at it. And Erica Christensen is like, I don't know. And she calls someone and, finds out that probably the lowest score that you're going to need to get into Brown, because she wants to go to Brown University. Or is it Brown College? I don't know. I imagine university because it's prestigious. And you need like a 1390 at least. Gonna be tough for her because even though she's got that PhD with the ASS, she doesn't know if she's gonna be able to score 1390. I don't know, I think they said what is like the number 2 in school? Like valedictorian's like you're the top of your class. What's like number 2? Number 2 is the first loser. But she doesn't know if she's gonna get 1390. So I think her mind's reeling, and she's probably I think she's gonna give serious thought to possibly stealing the SAT answers. So now Chris Evans, Maddie, Scarlett Johansson, and Stoner Kid are in like the forest near the building because they're gonna case the joint. Because so far all they know is that it's the top floor, and so they're gonna have to now figure out how to get to the top floor and steal the SAT answers. They don't even need to steal it; they just need to like photocopy it, and they'll be good. And Stoner Kid, he's not really casing the joint. He's just trying to talk to the birds. So, all right, cool. You got to talk to the birds. Because the birds know things, and they probably can help you out in trying to steal the SAT answers. But Scarlett Johansson has a plan. If they disguise themselves as the mail room clerks, the guys that push the mail carts around, the mail clerks, right? That's what they're called. Yeah, if they disguise themselves, then they get a feel of the layout of the land, of the offices, and probably figure out where the tests are and take it from there. So Maddie and Chris Evans, they dress up. I don't know where they even got like the outfits. I'm sure Scarlett Johansson helped them and helped them get some mail carts. And so they go, but oh no, their cover's about to be busted because the receptionist, she's like, "Can I help you?" She doesn't trust them. But luckily, Stoner Kid just pops up out of nowhere to save their ass. He's like, "Oh yeah, they're the new mail clerk guys. They forgot their ID badges. Don't worry, I got this taken care of." Like, oh, okay. He knew how to get in. He is on top of things. So is the Stoner Kids you have to look out for. Like you think, oh, they don't know anything. They know everything. And he tells them, like, oh, by the way, guys, mail delivery was this morning, so these costumes aren't gonna, cut it anymore. So they take off the costumes and put on ID badges that the Stoner Kids somehow got. I don't know what their plan is next, because, they're dressed like high school kids. Like, I don't know if that's really gonna cut it for anyone that sees them walking by and go, wait a minute. Not only do we not recognize you people, you don't look like you work in an office. Erica Christensen is it Christensen or just Christian? Kristen, whatever. Erica, if you're listening to this and I'm butchering your name, I apologize. How cool would that be if Erica Christensen or Christian or some other name was listening to my podcast? Erica Christensen, if you're out there, hit me up. She's studying at the library for the SAT when Desmond comes by and he's like, could you help me study for the SAT? Because I need to get 900. And it's like, dude, they give you like 500 for getting your name right. No, that's a good old joke, right? Yeah. Fuck, what was that movie? Blue Chips? The movie where like Shaquille O'Neal, where he was playing prospect, and they were talking about his SAT scores, and like the college recruiters tells whoever else he's talking to, like, geez, they give you 500 points just for spelling your name right. And he's like, yeah, that was the thing. He didn't spell his name right. Okay, I fucked up that joke. I don't remember how exactly it went, but it was a lot funnier. Funnier than anything in this film. But Erica Christensen's kind of like, yeah. Uh, could be kind of tough because I'm having trouble studying for the SAT. Now, over in the office, Vanessa Angel's office, Stoner Kid walks in to deliver a package. Oh, yeah. That's what he's thinking. Oh, man. Vanessa Angel is still fucking hot. She's in cougar territory now, though. I don't know why I say doe like that. Like, just, she's moved into cougar territory. Oh, she is still hot. And, man, where am I going? I got distracted by Vanessa Angel's hotness. And Stoner Boy drops the file so that he can kneel down to pick it up and try to look up her skirt. Can you blame him? I can't blame him. Unfortunately, the film doesn't give us an actual upskirt shot. Ooh boy, I'm getting kind of hungry. So now I'm like losing my train of thought between the hunger and thinking of Vanessa Angel's panties. So what happened? Oh, yeah, Stoner Boy is trying to be all cool and smooth and just coming off creepy, and Vanessa Angel's kind of like, "Ee." Meanwhile, Chris Evans is working by some other office, and this guy like tells him, because he assumes that he's a mail clerk or a copy clerk or something. Like, oh, we need like 500 copies of this thing, and it's the master guide to the SAT. Oh man, Chris Evans lucked out because they were only casing the joint, but now he can get the SAT scores or the answers, and let me just make some copies of this, and the cover's already there. Like, he's supposed to be making copies of it. So he goes to make copies about it, and oops, that wasn't a copy machine. That was a shredder. Which, in all fairness, looked like a fucking copy machine. That did not look like any shredder I've ever seen. So, but oops. The answer guide is shredded. And there goes their hopes of pulling off this master plan. And while he goes back to work at his nighttime job at the warehouse, here comes Erica Christensen. And she's like, I've been thinking about things, and, I think I want in on this. And Chris Evans like, yeah, but I don't think it's going to work out. We blew our chance. And she's like, well, we can give you money if you need. And he's like, we? Because Desmond wants in on this action. So just more and more people keep finding out about it, which is good because now you got a crew. You can fucking Ocean's 11 this. Let's see how many people we've got now. We got Chris Evans, we got Maddie, we got Scarlett Johansson, Stoner Boy, Erica Christensen, and Desmond. You can fucking Ocean 6 this. So Chris Evans thinks he's got a plan. So he just needs some help. He needs the floor plans to the building, which Scarlett Johansson's able to get him because her dad is very negligent. And so she drops the plans off to Chris Evans, and she totally wants to bang him. And I can't blame her. It's Chris Evans. He's got America's ass. But he doesn't seem to be that interested in banging her, which I do blame him. That's maybe you're hyper focused on the plan and you want to bang Erica Christensen, which, okay, I don't blame you for that part, but come on, Scarlett Johansson's hotter. Just, it's objectively true. Scarlett Johansson's hotter than Erica Christensen. Now add in that Scarlett Johansson is playing a punk schoolgirl. and that ups the hotness level even more. So you are a fool, Chris Evans. You are a fool. So, damn it, I keep getting distracted by how hot Scarlett Johansson is in this film. I'm sorry. I forgot half of what's going on. Oh, yeah, so they're getting together to go over the plan over at Chris Evans' house, which is supposed to be, like, empty because his brother, Matthew Lillard, promised him it's going to be empty. He's not going to be around. Oh, oops. Matthew Lillard is there because he's got his wine tasting party. And so, but that's okay. They all load up in Chris Evans' room and they're going to go over the plan. But it's tough because they don't really trust each other. Especially, Scarlett Johansson's wondering, why is the class valedictorian wanting to get in on this? And, oh yeah, like when she was explaining to Chris Evans why she blanked, she was talking about like one of those train problems, the math problems, like someone gets on a train and it's traveling however many miles per hour. And that is the big cliche. Does that really come up? I have never fucking once come across like a train problem in my math test. Like, just, I've waited for them. I've always wanted to do one, and I've never had like the fucking train problem in any math test I took. It didn't come up when I took the SATs. What am I not good enough for the train problems? Do they never come up to me? But anyways, she was doing the train problem, and she started wondering about, the lady on the train. Why is she on the train? Why is she alone? And it just completely psyched her out. And, sometimes I do wonder about the people in these math problems and why do they need like 5 apples and trading it for 3 oranges. And because those are the type of math problems I always came across, was like fucking fruit problems. And it's like, I don't want to learn about fruit. I want to get on the train. Not once. Not once have I ever come across a train problem. But anyways, they don't trust each other. Because why does a class valedictorian need the SAT answers? But, she's not the class valedictorian. She's number 2. And remember, second place is first loser. And Maddie doesn't trust Desmond. And Desmond's like, the SATs, they're racist. And Maddie's like, you know what? Why are you pulling the race card? Me, I'm just an idiot. So, of course, I need it. And I don't know, would it have been better for Maddie if Desmond just came out and said, I'm an idiot, so I need these answers? Why are they questioning each other on why they need the SAT answers? They need the SAT answers, whatever. They want to get 1600. Although, really, after they get the answers, they probably should calculate how many of the answers they need to get right for a certain score. Because if Desmond hits the 1600, they might question it, so he should aim for just slightly above 900. If Maddie gets 1600, everyone's gonna be fucking this is bullshit. Sure, Erica Christensen and maybe even Chris Evans, they get 1600s. People are like, oh yeah, that's possible. Stoner Boy, people be like, well, you never really know with stoner kids. They are fucking secret geniuses. But so I think they should try to figure out what percentage of the answers they should get right. But it doesn't matter because they don't trust each other. And oh no, the plan's falling apart. But Chris Evans, he gives a speech that rallies them back together. And watching this, I see why he got cast as Captain America. It's just intrinsic to Chris Evans. He is a fucking leader. I now want to help him steal the SAT answers. Granted, I wanted to begin with because I just want to fuck the system. But now I just genuinely want to help him. It's no longer just about fucking over the system. This is about America. My God, Chris Evans is great. He should just, I think in pretty much every movie, doesn't he just pretty much just play like a leader who rallies everyone? I'm just basing this off of Snowpiercer and the Captain America and the various Captain America performances. He was in not another teen movie, but I can't remember what that was like at all. And he was in Scott Pilgrim, and he played one of the douchebag ex-boyfriends. So I guess in that one he wasn't like the leader, but here he is a leader. He's a leader of men. He is the future Captain America. Except Steve Rogers would not approve of the cheating aspect of it. So Chris Evans goes over the plan, and the other people are imagining how it goes. Stoner guy is imagining banging Erica Christensen because they're on watch out, along with Desmond, and it's going to be Chris Evans, Maddie, and Scarlett Johansson actually breaking into the building. And Scarlett Johansson imagines herself in a leather catsuit kicking ass of the security guards, and I see why they chose her for a Black Widow. See, so we got a little preview of, Chris Evans being Captain America and Scarlett Johansson being Black Widow. The future is on the horizon. And so I'm not going to bore you with the details of the plan that I kind of already forgotten. So they're putting the plan in action, but unfortunately, the room where the test scores, or the tests, whatever, are supposed to be in is empty. But luckily, Chris Evans remembers that there was another room that a copy of the test was supposed to go to, the one guy's office. So they go, but unfortunately, they can't find the file, and it's probably on the computer, but they need the password. So they need to, improvise a plan. And Stoner Boy, wait, not Stoner. Boom, boom. Sorry about my clock chiming. Hurry up, clock chime. I don't know, can you hear the clock chiming? Sure, let's pretend that it wasn't there. But yeah, there's some plan that's gonna involve, I don't know, like flowers or something, because Maddie's gotta call his one buddy to get like flowers and champagnes sent out. I don't know, I'm sure we'll figure out how exactly this works into figuring out the guy's password. Meanwhile, since they've got to kind of wait around, they're talking, and, Erica Christensen seems to be softening somewhat on Stoner Boy. I think there could be a connection there. And Scarlett Johansson, I think she might be falling for Maddie. She kind of sees something there. She's like, "Oh, fuck you, Chris Evans. You're not interested in me. I'm gonna go to this guy instead." And when they were like hiding from the security guard, they all got smushed together into like some sort of like almost threesome formation, and Scarlett Johansson was the lucky Pierre. Okay, so they needed the flowers and champagne to distract the security guard long enough so that Stoner Boy can sneak in, because he's gonna hack into the computers. But Erica Christensen decides that she wants to run inside too because of reasons, I don't know. So Desmond's like, well, if all you guys are going in, I might as well go in too. So Stoner Boy hacks into the computer, like, all right, there's the test. They found it. Now all they got to do is print it, and you need 3 other people to authorize the printing of it. Oops. So what are they going to do now? What are they doing now? I forgot in my mind. So they think it's all over, but Chris Evans is like, wait, we do have the test here, so we can just take the test and have our answers there. Okay, I mean, it's a plan, but so was the plan just to print out the test and then figure out the answers? Like, shouldn't the answer key be there on the computer that they were going to print out? I would think so. Like, why not look for the answer key? So there has to be an answer key, right? Someone has the answer key. So look for the answer key. But no, they're gonna take the test, which, you know, if you guys knew how to take the test, you wouldn't be in this predicament. But, you know, there's only a certain amount of time they have, so they're going to split it up. Desmond and Stoner Boy are going to take math, while Chris Evans and Erica Christensen are going to take verbal, and Scarlett Johansson and Maddie are on lookout, which they're going to fall in love. And I paused it, and this is the reason my mind keeps going off, is paused on cleavage shot of Scarlett Johansson. So, yeah, I shall return. So now we get some Breakfast Club-like moments where, you know, everyone gets to learn a little more about each other and realize that they're not so different after all. And Scarlett Johansson and Maddie kiss, and Chris Evans and Erica Christensen kiss, and Desmond and Stoner Boy don't kiss, but they're cool with each other. So they finish taking the SAT, and they're about to get out of there, and oh no, the lights go on. Someone's there. They gotta hurry, but Scarlett Johansson is caught, and there's no way for her to escape. So everyone escapes, but not Maddie. He's gonna go back for her. He's gonna take a hit, because he loves Scarlett Johansson now, and he's gotta save her. So Maddie grabs a computer and meets up with the security guard, and he's pretending like, oh, I broke into the place to steal a computer, thus allowing the rest of them to escape. Not quite sure how this is fully going to work, because then there's the question of, well, how did you get into the building? And that might screw things up for Scarlett Johansson, because, well, I guess it doesn't have to screw it up for her specifically, because they won't know how he got into the building. But it's okay. She bails him out in the morning, and everyone has heart-to-hearts with their family, and they have epiphanies, and they decide that they just can't cheat. They need to do this the honest way. Except for Scarlett Johansson, who's not even taking the test because she scored over a 1400 the first time. She was just kind of in it for the kicks. But everyone did... Oh, and Stoner Boy, well, he himself is not going to cheat. He can't let these answers go to waste, so he gives them to the other stoner kids in school so that they can score like 1600s or whatever. Really, we don't even know if these answers were correct. They were just taking the SAT exam and assumed that they knew the correct answers. And so, unsurprisingly, they all crushed it on taking the SAT, which shouldn't be that hard because they already saw these questions. So they should already kind of know anyhow. It's not like they only stole the answer key. They took the fucking SAT already. So they're taking the exact same test a second time. Which, granted, they only each took half the test, but that's enough to get yourself a 600. Wait, no, 800. I did not do well on the math portion of the SAT. Actually, I did. I am good at math. I just forgot that it was 1600 was the SAT maximum score. Whatever. So happy endings all around, and sure, whatever. I just don't care. anymore. But that was the end of the film, and the sole bright spot of this movie was how hot Scarlett Johansson was, and we got to see her underwear. And it wasn't a stunt crotch. It wasn't like Breakfast Club, which, this film kind of wanted to have like its Breakfast Club influence. And so I guess that's probably why they had like an upskirt shot. But in the Breakfast Club, that wasn't really Molly Ringwald's panties. That was the stunt crotch. But here, it was pure Scarlett Johansson, because you see the panties and her face in the same shot. And unless they CGI'd that shit, that was her actual panties. Well, the panties she was wearing. They might not have actually been panties she owned. They came from the wardrobe department. The wardrobe department, like, they had to go and pick out, like, the perfect pair of panties. See, that's the type of shit you don't really think about with films. Like, okay, we have to figure out how we're going to shoot the upskirt shot. What's the best pair? What pair of panties would her character wear? And so does Scarlett Johansson, like, get input into this, saying, no, I don't think my character would wear that. Is it the director like, oh, I think these are the perfect pair? Or is it left all to the wardrobe department, like, okay, we see what the kind of character we're going for, so here's the pair of panties. I am going to write an essay just on Scarlett Johansson's panties from this movie and all the thought that must have gone into them. But if you're thinking, hey, I want to watch this movie so that I can see the Scarlett Johansson upskirt, remember, we are living in the internet age. Google Scarlett Johansson upskirt, and you will get the picture of it. And you can do what you want with that picture, but that saves you like fucking hour and a half. Although the upskirt came in like 10 minutes into the film, I think. So if you do feel like you have to watch the movie, you can turn it off after the upskirt shot. Yeah. I am just reminiscing about Scarlett Johansson's panties, and I am gonna go and look at them again. Until next time, velvetowl@hotmail.com, or leave a comment in the comment section. Click like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that other stuff that other YouTube channels tell you to do. But you know what? You do what you want. I am not going to tell you that you have to subscribe to my channel. You have to choose that yourself. If it's something you want to do, then hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. I don't know. What's the bell do? I'm sure the bell does something annoying, so I will encourage you not to do that one. But until next time, I love you all.